Hey folks, welcome back to Game Geeks. I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Today's episode, Changeling the Lost for White Wolf's World of Darkness line. This is one of their core lines in terms of, this isn't one of their mortal lines like, say, Asylum or the Second Sight or Reliquary like we reviewed before. This is one of their critter lines, as I like to call it. So you've got Vampire, Werewolf, Mage. You have also added on Promethean, Changeling, Geist is coming out soon, Hunter the Vigil. Changeling, honestly, it is a very interesting game that takes the mature player's angle more than almost any of their other games, and here's why. In this game, you play someone who has been abducted from our world by the True Fae. Now, the True Fae in this aren't quite Titania and Oberon, and they're not what Dresden really produces. These are almost more chthonic, Lovecraftian, almost Nyarlathotep in their nature. And they drag you into their realm through this barrier between the realms known as the hedge. And they change you while you're there. They warp you. So you have a real abduction theme to this, and they really get into the core of what is you and mess with you and alter you in ways that amuse them. So you also get into a real rape theme in this game as well, which is why I think this is a really strong, you really need to be mature to really play this game well. Along those lines, the premise of the game is you eventually get back and find that either you've been gone for 15 minutes and 20 years has passed in the real world, or you've been gone for 100 years and it's been 5 minutes. Either way, there's time dilation, and there's a good chance that the True Fae have stuck a doppelganger in your place. They have stuck someone in your place basically to fill in the gap, to make it so that they don't notice that you're missing. And you have to deal with the fact that someone has completely taken your place in life. They're the ones who are raising your kids, sleeping with your wife, for example, and you now have to carve out a life of your own because you are fundamentally changed. It's a very dark game, in my opinion, even darker than Vampire, and I didn't know if they could go much darker than Vampire in those themes. But there's a lot of wonder in this game, too. You're changed into, well, a changeling, pardon the pun. So, like the other World of Darkness games, you build up your mortal character, and then you get taken into the realm of the Fae. After that, you get turned into one of the Fae specific to the type of Fae that you were stolen, or rather that stole you. So you might be more bestial, you might be more animal-like, you might be monstrous, you might become more elemental, you might become prettier. What you're changed into physically is called your seeming. So like I said, you may become more elemental, you may become prettier. There is also the court, which is sort of your new personality and the season with which you resonate most. And they're your standard earthly seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. Each one brings something slightly different with it. You have certain magics or certain types of powers that come with your changeling nature. You can have magical widgets that help you. You can have innate abilities. And then it gets into the whole changeling society when you have all of these victims who have escaped, whose main goal is not to be drugged back into the master's realm. That's the biggest fear they have. Additionally, there's ways that you can interact with the hedge itself, ways that you can shape dreams around mortals. Ladies and gentlemen, I love a lot of the themes of this game, but I don't know that it's something that I could really play. I think this sort of reminds me of the old Wraith line in that there's a lot about that was too dark for me to really be able to get into. So if you want something for the World of Darkness line that's new, this is way different than Changeling the Dreaming that it was back when it was the original World of Darkness line, the often maligned. I liked it, but not a lot of people did. This is Changeling the Lost. It is very different, probably one of the biggest diversions of the sort of reboots of the original lines. Vampire, you're still pretty much a vampire. Mage, werewolf, yeah. Changeling, whoa, that's different. For Game Geeks, I'm your host, Kurt Wiegel. Good day and good gaming.